This week's episode is brought to you by the home and auto insurance brand Canadians trust most, Intact Insurance. Hello, welcome to the Jann Arden podcast and show. I just want to make a very, very huge announcement. We haven't been promoting this a lot, but we started our Patreon account. $5 a month gets you all kinds of things. First in line for live events, merchandise, extra content that could be anywhere from 15 to like 35, 40 minutes. We don't know. We get yapping away about things, Anyway, what was I saying? It's a Jann Arden podcast. Drum roll, please. 74 memberships.
87. We have
87. Where did I get 74
Don't downplay
from?
us.
We have 87 Patreon. And I didn't say Patreon. I said Patreon. Welcome, Caitlin Green. Welcome, Sarah Burke. And here we are recording. I feel like the weeks are going by so fast.
Oh, the weeks are insane. The weeks are just flying by. I don't understand it. I'm like, how the F is it going to be August soon? Like, I'm not ready for August. I'm not in a place of August.
Yes, you are.
It needs to be June. Thank you. So
I know. Once summer like kind of starts, you're just like, oh my God, how many summer weekends do I have left? And it's a countdown.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you start doing when you're 62?
What?
You start counting how many summers you have left.
Jann,
don't go to a dark place like right off the
My
top.
friend Jean Leslie, I love you. She lives in Vancouver. Jean is exactly 20 years older than me. Jean is 82. So she and I met her when I was 22. And so we always kind of celebrate these decade milestones. But anyway, I remember when she turned 62 and I was 42. And we speak on the phone. She said, well, I was just sitting here thinking about counting how many summers I have left. And I think I would love to have 25 great summers left. But here's the great thing. I was talking to Jean last week. And she said a very similar thing. We were talking about the summer going by fast. And she said, well, and she's 82 now, right? And this is how she's speaking at 82. Well, I'm really hoping I have another 20 good summers left. So it hasn't, the whole idea hasn't changed since she was 62. And I loved that. At 82, she's looking forward. She's looking into the horizon going, I'm 82. Why can't I live to 102? She's got a new boyfriend. She's in love. She goes, I've never felt like this in my life. I'm just like, okay, this is not what I thought 82 would look like.
One of my close friends' grandmothers unfortunately just passed away this week, but she was 102. And I will say, like, until the end, she was living it up. I mean, she still spent her winters, in Florida. She was like loving life, and she was fortunate enough to pass away at home. And it feels like if you could, sign that contract right now, you would.
1 second.
We should just set up here that the three of us are maybe a little bit of a hot mess today. We were scrambling to get this episode together. Jann was away in LA, and I want to hear about her weekend.
These
in
things
LA.
are all true, separately and collectively.
It was a very legal statement.
And then I'm going on vacation, so we were like, we got to get this edited before the end of the week. So, Jann, maybe you start us off. Tell us about your weekend.
Well, I just want to go back quickly to Caitlin's 102-year-old pal. I want to finish that story.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Because I'm so interested in 102 being a very, very kind of a new baseline for how long people can be expecting to live if, you could do all these things. And we spoke about the dementia thing, meditation, exercise, going vegan. So people, I also know someone who just passed away at 102.
Was it a woman?
She cut hair till she was 97. She was a hairdresser.
Unbelievable.
Whoa.
I wonder if there's, there's something obviously to be said for everyone and having purpose. And so that kept her, because we just know that there's so many factors that contribute to your longevity, and being part of a community and socializing and having something to get up for every day.
Having a pet?
Yeah, having a pet, exactly. Having something that you're caring for and something that you care about. I think it all kind of comes together. She had a lot of grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and I don't know if she had any great-great-grandchildren, or maybe she did. But I mean, just an incredible woman. And she was just the sweetest thing. And I also know that I think she would say that so many years spent in the warm weather in Florida every winter, I know she felt like it helped her a lot.
And she looked forward to it. My
Mhm.
mom said it's so nice to have something to look forward to all the time. And quite frankly, I'll look forward to a nice salad.
That's the key to happiness, though, right?
I'd be happy on
I
an
don't
orange crate in the middle of a field. Your dad is not like that. He needs to be constantly entertained. Is it all
An
going,
orange
Steve?
crate in the middle of a
Music.
field.
I now have music in my hot tub. Steve is here. I don't know if you
Yay,
know my
Steve.
Hi,
hot
Steve.
tub, my hot tub madness. But Steve, oh yeah, we got some music going on. I
It
had to have
better be our
everything replaced
playlist.
because, and we're going to talk about your floods. But my hot tub, here's fucking ridiculousness for you. How does a fucking hot tub flood? Underneath my hot tub flooded. It flooded all the electronical components.
Oh.
It has taken me 6 weeks to fix this. I had to get a sump pump put in. It
Oh,
wasn't
no.
it was a comedy of errors, but anyways, everyone's been so fantastic. Everyone working on it and helping me has been the chef's kiss of people helping.
Thank you, Steve
So-
and co.
And you have music out there now? Did you not before?
But Steve just keeps popping his head in. And so he's playing music in the hot tub.
What
but
is he
that
playing right
component
now?
blew up. It flooded.
Okay.
Everything flooded.
What's he playing now? Is he playing like what I imagine is Steely Dan?
I'm in love with your body.
Oh.
Yeah.
It could be our playlist. Is that on our playlist?
I'm in love with your body? I'm not sure.
I'm in love with your body. Oh,
With
that's
your body too. Oh, wow. We're gonna get sued. I'm gonna have to pay a licensing fee
No.
for that beautiful singing that I just did.
guys. I feel like can we talk about the YouTube jail for a minute last week?
Oh yeah. Thank you to everyone
Someone
who
kill me
obviously
for being
wrote
on
us.
that thread with you two, because I was just like, I'm in Los Angeles in Disneyland, and this thread is coming through hot and hard.
Hot
So
and
let's
hard.
back it up. Let's back it up. So I'm on my way to a doubleheader baseball game last Wednesday, and in our little group chat, Caitlin says, "Guys, the Jann Arden YouTube is just not coming up for me right now. The podcast YouTube. Are you guys seeing it?" And I'm like, on the field, can't help at the moment, but I'll check when I get home.
I'm with Mickey. Can't help you.
And then we got home. I checked the the emails that we have, and it says that we've been violating impersonation policies. Jan, you were impersonating yourself.
Yeah, we were flagged for impersonation, which is ridiculous.
It happens.
So anyway, guys, it was I went through proper channels. Of course, I was talking to your management. I was talking to Universal, the label, because I figured that was the source of the flag. And eventually, the only person who helped us get this was a random person I messaged on LinkedIn that had YouTube in their email address.
Oh,
Who
that's
just
how you found him.
Who just happens to be married to someone at Intact Insurance.
Who said that he was a fan of the pod. I won't reveal
Yes.
his last name, but his first name was Gabriel.
Yeah.
And after everything was all on the up and up, he said, for what it's worth, we're fans. And my wife is actually behind the Intact campaign that your team did.
Like, is that the reason why we're back on YouTube? Because if it is, Gabe, we owe you
I want
one.
to thank Intact Insurance for not only being our sponsor out of the
Our title
gate,
sponsor, I would
our
say.
title sponsor out of that gate. They also got us out of YouTube jail.
Yeah.
And
They're
that
really
is-
honestly caring, nice people who will help you out of anything from a flood to a fire to apparently YouTube jail.
But that seemed like an insurance issue, actually.
It should be. It should be an insurance
Digital-
issue.
We should tell them to get into the digital insurance business.
They can
Ooh.
add to that. No, it really is great.
It's a great idea.
In this world when you're it's a great problem to have, I guess, if someone's impersonating you, sort of.
Unless you're yourself.
But also, someone's watching out for me. Someone is watching out for me in this world, saying, "Oh no, you're not going to steal our little Jan. That's not going to happen. Back it up, because we know her personally, and you're not going to be her."
I think
that
it was like
podcast is-
AI.
I think it was AI too, and I wondered if it wasn't perhaps linked to the creation of our Patreon, because you link your account. And so part of me did wonder, because that's like the only thing that had changed, because Patreon currently for our level of usership doesn't allow us to embed our own videos into their platform. We have to feed all the content off of either YouTube or Vimeo. And so I feel like when we linked that account is where things went like right. So
Okay.
Well, we're out of jail. It's good. It's good.
Well,
we're free.
Sarah thinks that I'm going to have to get a a Patreon membership to take out like a subscription to
She
actually
goes,
hear
"Can
the
you
bonus
send me?"
material. I said, can I hear the bonus content this week? And Sarah's like, I think you have to join up on the Patreon for $5 a month, which I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to join up because, why not? I want to support us. I want to support the girls.
I want to support you too, and
Yeah.
maybe that means
So
all
I'm
the
going to sign up. But listen, we're going to run this back up the flagpole again. We have a Patreon account. I say Patreon, the girls say Patreon, but
That's the other way around.
oh, the girls say Patreon, I say Patreon.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, geez, son of a shit. So $5 a month, you can go and sign on, and I think it's just go to the Patreon site and put my name in, and it'll show you, and then it'll tell you stuff and all those kinds of things.
As always, you just Google anything you want. Just Google Jann Arden podcast Patreon. And last weekend we had like a 21-minute extra conversation. So if you're ever like, oh, I wish the show was longer, it is, and it's over there.
And we will always have a link to the Patreon in the show notes. So wherever you are listening to this podcast, just look on the text part and there'll be a link there.
And we're going to keep you up to date on that live event that we're going to be doing in the fall. And we're definitely going to be doing it. It's going to come together in the next 8 weeks of where, how, when. And it's going to be a blast because you guys can be sitting in the audience when we talk to great guests, not only talk amongst ourselves, but we will definitely have some guest stars. I might sing something. I mean, why not?
Oh, shit.
Why don't we make a whole day of it? Maybe we'll get some booze people to sponsor us or some non-booze. Non-booze is really big these days, the non-booze movement. Toronto has a store called Sober, SOBR, I believe it's spelled.
Okay.
And it's all those zero alcohol tinctures and botanicals and tequilas that aren't really tequila and whiskeys and rums. And it's all these companies are doing these amazing things to supply us non-drinkers with a way to have fun because you do get sick of having like Coke. One moment, please hold that thought.
Please hold for Steve.
So we're a bit of a hot mess today. Jen, what time did you get in last night?
By the time I looked at the clock to go to sleep, it was like 10 after 3, which is the normal time that you guys come in. It's when you guys come home on a weekend. But I had to wait an hour for my bag, so I came back from Los Angeles. The flight landed at 11:45. Went through customs really quickly. I have my Nexus card. It's fantastic. Very much worth doing the interview and going through all that. It really is worth it. And then I stood there like you do, like a big dumb bowling pin, and everyone had their stuff. And then I waited 50 minutes, and I finally I found a United girl and said, I got a geotag, says my luggage is actually in the building. So can you tell me how to get that? And someone had just not put it on the belt to go up. So give me 1 minute and I'll go make sure it comes up. And I was so glad because I thought, am I going to have to wait? Anyway, so my bag came up. I got back. We were supposed to record this earlier this morning, but I sent the girls a text like
at
1:48 or something. And I just said, can we bump it up this afternoon? And then because I had to get my teeth cleaned and now we just have had I actually have a pool boy, I guess. But like I was saying earlier, my pool flooded. It's not a pool. It's a swim spa. It's ridiculous. Sarah has been in it. It's quite fun.
Will you put your mic up a little bit to your mouth? A little bit?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Well, no, it covers up my double chin, so it's good that it does that. I don't mind that.
And then it'll be fixed with the tunes going for this week.
Well, yeah. When do you get here?
I come into Calgary on Wednesday. And then we pick up my girlfriend Wednesday morning, who comes on an 8:30 a.m. flight, and then we're ripping up to Canmore for our Airbnb for the golf tournament.
And you guys, I'll see you on Saturday, yes?
Saturday, Sunday? See you after all the hoopla of the golf tournament. And by the way, we're just going to quickly shout out Enviros because we're raising money for a good cause. And so I know that the team at Enviros is very thankful.
Enviros raises money for young men that are addicted to opioids, fentanyl. I don't know if it's alcohol related, but we've been doing it. This is our 9th year this year. And I think we've raised, $500,000 or something like that, maybe a little bit more.
They help more than just men, children, youth, families, anyone looking for stability and independence, getting back into
absolutely. But I think this golf tournament in particular focuses on the camp up in Shunda Creek they have an unbelievably high success rate. Fentanyl does not have a high success rate. But these guys are in the, I think, 80 percentile, which is amazing. And a lot of the guys that are instructing now are former clients of the program. And these
Mm-hmm.
young men usually speak at every tournament. They're so inspiring. Everyone's bawling their heads off
I was
because they
last
talk
year.
about losing everything and
Yeah.
doing this program. And plus, everyone gets to golf at a beautiful golf course. I'll get to see you. Caitlin, next year you have to come.
I tried so hard to make her come, but she was like, nah.
Well, no one wants to be away from their little cutest frickin' baby in the world.
Also for a
So-
golf tournament. I mean, let's be honest.
Have you ever
Well, is it-
golfed?
I have golfed actually.
No,
My
that's all
husband
you
is
need
a
to say.
massive golf fanatic. So I will have to bite the bullet at some point or I will become a golf widow. And I do like driving around in a golf cart and consuming alcohol. That is fun.
I will
And-
save a spot on the foursome for that even for you next year.
Well, you know.
You don't even have to swing a club.
Easy.
I have
God.
my friend Lisa comes all the time. I used to let her drive, but now she just comes. She just comes with a flask. She's got the biggest flask in the world, which I guess is a sight gag.
I feel
because-
like your group last year had like 5 or 6 people because we were behind you and I was like, what's going on in this
Well,
foursome?
2 of them don't golf.
Okay.
Like Lisa and Bev. Bev used to work at Enviros for, I don't know, 2 decades. And
Okay.
Lisa used to work there as well. But now they're
Oh.
still, neither of them work there anymore. Bev's retired. And Lisa works for the town of Cochrane? City of Cochrane? I don't even know.
Hmm.
Anyway, it's fantastic. I'm looking forward to you coming. I feel like I need to stock up on cannabis sodas. The last time you were here, you had some kind of cannabis
You don't have to buy me
THC
anything.
sodas. You guys are more than welcome to smoke a little reefer here or do some edibles. I'll just sit back and film you and put it on the internet and ask you.
Just send it
personal
directly to me.
questions.
Just put it on our
I'll
group chat.
Bonus
send it to
content for
Caitlin.
next week.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And no, I'm going to cut the lawn and everything. I'm going to save up. I'm probably going to cut the lawn in a couple of days so that my yard looks really nice. And thank God this freaking pool is fixed for you guys. It was so cute seeing you guys in there. Like
Oh,
I felt
yeah.
like us. I felt
Well,
like
we recorded
cool.
the podcast last summer. Like we were sitting at your kitchen counter, and my 2 girlfriends, we were looking out at them, and they were just splashing around, and it's cute. But this time, I'm not doing any work on this trip. I am closing the laptop tomorrow and taking
Oh,
a
we'll
break.
see how that goes. Anyway, I don't know what any of this has to do with me going to Disneyland a couple days ago.
Okay,
because
tell us, please.
last minute decision. We just said, let's do it. Let's pull the trigger. We went to, I went to LA with Chris, my road manager, because my friend Leah is working with Michael Bublé on The Voice. He is one of the judges. 2 seasons, seasons 26 and 27 are being filmed back to back.
Okay.
He was with the
Wait, she's working
whole-
with him?
She does a lot of stuff with him, a lot of social media stuff. She does a
okay.
lot of writing for Michael, and you know, I mean, he's a super funny, very charismatic guy.
He's
but it's
so
nice,
funny.
But it's nice to have someone to bounce stuff off of. And
Mhm.
anyway, we got a chance to sit in the audience for some of the blind auditions. So it's
Cool.
Adam, what's his name?
Lambert?
No, Adam.
Is
Levine?
Adam Levine on the show?
Adam
still?
Levine. Sorry,
Okay.
Jesus. Adam Levine, Kelsey Ballerini, Bublé, and John Legend. They were the 4 that were on season 27. Season 27 isn't on until fall of 2025.
Okay.
Season
okay.
26 is on this fall. So that's how far ahead they film.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. So they're doing two seasons. Anyway, I felt so, my heart just kind of broke for some of these kids doing the blind auditions because there was just times when nobody turned around. And
Oh.
nobody turned around.
It's such a.
And
I'm sorry to say this, but it's such a hilarious format for a show. You just have like 4 celebrities in these big chairs, and they're like, "I don't like you. I'm not flipping my big chair around." And then some person just stands on stage, hoping that Kelsey Ballerini turns her giant chair around. I mean, it's objectively very funny.
I couldn't do it.
There's no way I could do it.
But when you think about the history of these types of shows, not that this is any comparison to like Eurovision, Eurosong, ABBA in the 70s won.
Mm.
And they did Waterloo. And it was that contest.
wow.
Every country sends their best.
Mhm.
And it's still really one of the premier contesting type shows on the planet.
I love Eurovision.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Eurovision.
Mhm.
So this is tough. I mean, you go up there, it's completely silent. The the guy that warms up the audience basically says, we want complete silence during the performance. So you can't cheer anybody on for their high notes or, doing stuff or, getting into the song. You can't respond or clap or go, whoo, yay, Dave, Further to that, I'm looking at Chris and I'm going, oh my God, look at the parents. So
Oh my God.
over by another set of cameras off stage, the contestant comes up quietly, stands on their mark. The parents go over and they stand on their mark over by the guy that used to be on MTV. He's now on one of the morning shows.
Ryan
Big, tall
Seacrest?
guy with brown hair.
Oh. It's not Ryan Seacrest. It's
The other one.
MTV.
Let's just say it's Ryan Seacrest because he has like too many jobs. So it's probably him. Statistically speaking, if you're wondering who's hosting a show, it's Ryan Seacrest.
That was a good guess.
We'll edit this out. He's the big, tall, dark-haired guy.
I'm looking it up right now. Let's find it.
I
Tall,
truly have
dark?
no idea. I don't.
Host.
Admittedly, I've never seen even 1 minute of that show, other than like on the internet when someone sings really badly.
Carson Daly.
Yes, Carson Daly. Jeez.
There we go.
Oh, okay. That's what he's doing now.
So imagine these parents standing there. Their kid is singing. They have 90 seconds. No chairs are turning around, and the parents are sometimes crying, holding each other.
Oh my God.
Looking at the screen, going, please, please. And some of them are praying, like they're praying to baby Jesus to have one of those chairs turn around.
Jesus.
And it is gut wrenching. And Chris is like, I can't do this. This is so hard.
I can't.
Watch.
I would have to leave. Do you want to know why? Because I would start laughing. Because I'm one of those people that laughs in uncomfortable situations. And if I had to sit in a silent auditorium of people waiting for a chair to turn around and you couldn't even cheer for someone who did a good job, I would erupt.
Yeah, I'm with you. So between the contestant pouring their hearts out, and I'm going to tell you right now, of the 8 blind auditions that I saw, nobody could sing.
Oh,
I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
But like 5 of
believe
them
that.
got turned around on, 5 of them. And then it comes down to you're allowed 12 people on each team. And once you have your 12 people, that you can't turn your chair around anymore. So at one point, it was just Adam and Michael that were trying to complete their teams. They had 1 or 2 people that they needed to collect. Anyway.
What happens on this show? Like, so you get your team and then you have your team and then the teams are all whittled down until there's like 1 left from the team. And then like America votes on the person who wins from each team.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I feel like they're very lucky, in my opinion, to have Michael Bublé because he's friggin' funny. He's so funny and charismatic.
He's one of the best singers in the world.
Truly. Like he is so, when he came on the morning show, it was not long before I was let go. And he had just done his NHL All-Stars run here in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
And he did a press conference interview that was so funny. And
About
he's
the
just
mushrooms?
about the mushrooms. And I just was like, this guy is an entertainer. I mean, he can sing. This is someone who, in my opinion, should be hosting like a late night show. Like I was like blown away by how good he was.
He's got a lot of irons in the fire right now. I can't speak on his behalf, but he's got so many interesting projects on his table of stuff.
Have you guys had him on this podcast before?
No, I don't want him.
Okay.
I don't like him. He's a good singer, but I'm just kidding. I
was like,
no, it was nice. It was so nice to see him. We sat in the dressing room and hung out, and he looked so good, and he's just so fit, and obviously he's got all his kids down there and his wife. They do have a house in LA, so he's so crazy about his wife and his kids. Like it's just his world, and so he's always distracted by his kids and.
Well, the story about his, kid overcoming illness and like all of that. I mean, honestly, could not like a celeb more. I feel he's just so funny and fantastic, and
a very good person.
He is. Yeah, I like him.
I just know,
really
like I
him.
said, I've known him for years and years. I opened many, many tours for him. Went all through Australia, went all through Europe, went all through the United States, and I finally just said, Michael, I love you, but I cannot do this.
But come talk to us on the show.
But I'll ask him.
Yeah, that'd be so great. In the fall, we should have him on, or maybe closer to Christmas when Bublé's everywhere.
Well, maybe he can talk about The Voice and get his take on it.
Yeah, but that I would love.
His heart broke.
Oh, I bet.
He's so emotionally invested in these people.
How could you not be?
And even when the chairs didn't get turned around, he would get up out of his chair. I don't know how much makes it onto television. Obviously, it's all edited after the fact. But for us at the audience, he got up out of his chair and he went up to them and he hugged them and he helped them carry his stuff off. And he went over and shook hands with the parents or the boyfriend or whatever. Like, he just was that guy.
Yeah,
He got up and did that. None of the other people did that.
If Michael Bublé is getting up and you're not getting up, you need to get up.
Okay, back to Disneyland for a moment.
Oh, then our next thing was Disney. I thought that was going to be my weekend because I only went for 3 nights. I stayed in the pull-out couch in Leah's room. Would Celine Dion do that?
Jann Arden got the pull-out couch?
Oh, it was awesome. It was my little cubby hole, so I made that.
Okay.
I didn't have enough blankets, so I used her house coat and towels.
Is that real or is that a true story that you had a house coat and towels on top of you?
Yes.
Why didn't you just get a room?
No. Are you talking about my old story when they were going housekeeping?
Oh, no.
Oh, now Poppy thinks somebody's at the door.
Way to go, knocking on your table.
Poppy, stop it. Listen, I need heavy weight on my legs. So I put stuff on there. I get... There's never any extra blankets in hotel rooms anymore, but I use all the towels and I put towels on and then I'll pile on a couple of, whatever
Is the purpose because it makes you feel like safe and secure? Or
no, I need weight on my legs. I just need weight. I can't have a light blanket. It's like having a sheet. To me, that's just annoying. And I have the room so cold that you just need stuff. It's just as simple as that. Is this weird? Am I only a weird person that does this? I've had lots of people say, oh God, yeah, I have to have heavy blankets.
My mental image of you sleeping on a pillow couch in your friend's room with towels and a house coat on top of you, like it's so hilarious to me. I love it.
The internet kind of told us that you were like the only one of the 3 of the bunch at Disneyland that didn't wear the Mickey Mouse ears. Like, what was that all about?
I'm
Why?
like, I'm not participating. I don't want ears. Those guys took so long to pick their ears. So Disneyland back in the day used to have Minnie and Mickey. It was a little felt hat. It was cheap shit. It was probably $5. These things are $30 US, sometimes 39.
Yeah,
everyone wears them, but they have donuts, Star Wars, bagels, fucking ice cream cones. It's not just ears anymore. It's anything. It's Cruella Dalmatian hats. It's every branding, Cars, Monsters Inc. Like whatever your jam is, you can wear it on your head for $30 to $40. I refused. I said, I'm not doing it. I had a $10 Dole Whip, pineapple whip with pineapple juice. It was so goddamn delicious because it was $10. We went to Club 33, which is the big secret club. It's tens of thousands of dollars to join up for this Disney club. Leah's friend, Brett, got us in. So you find this little street in like New Orleans land or whatever you call it. And there's a button under the numbers 33 and you go in. I was inappropriately dressed. Fucking
It's a bar though, like a club?
No, it's a beautiful restaurant. It's a restaurant hidden away with waiters. It's I'm going to just finish the story because it still upsets me. Okay, I love you, Disney, but this was ridiculous. So we go in. You can't have frayed jeans or anything. I didn't have frayed jeans, but I had patches on my jeans. So she's like, you're going to have to wear a maxi skirt. We will get you one in a bag. So I'm already like... So I had to take my pants off. And Leah's like, why didn't you just put the maxi skirt over your jeans? I said, because I'm not putting, I'll look lumpy. I've got a belt on. I'm not fucking putting a goddamn polyester maxi skirt. And Chris had short cutoffs. And she says, well, you're fine, sir. Cutoffs and a muscle shirt. He's fucking fine. And they made him just roll up the frayed edges. If you just roll those up. And Leah's pants were frayed on the bottom. She just rolled hers up. I go parading in there in a maxi fucking skirt. And we sat down. There's no prices on the menu. I look at Leah. I'm going, this is not boding well. And she's like, I didn't know what this was. Brett just said we should try it and do it. And, he got us in on his membership.
Okay.
And it's a 4-course lunch. We're in Disneyland. I pictured fucking nachos, hot dogs, donutty things, Mickey Mouse revels, like whatever, just crap. That's what I pictured, just crap of the whole day. And I thought, yeah, maybe we'll spend $100 each on the crap. That's a lot of goddamn money. But let's do it. Let's commit because we got free tickets to Disneyland. Brett also got us the tickets to Disneyland.
So nice.
So we had to do from this menu. I said, is there any other menu? He goes, no, it's a set menu. He just looks at us like we're, and oh yeah, further that I have a ball cap on all day. He goes, no headpieces. Headpieces. You mean ball cap? So I took that off. I looked like Tilda Swinton on acid.
I love that you were just in a communal skirt.
Who knows who wore that?
Over top of jeans. What?
I took my jeans off.
Oh no, you took the jeans off, right? Okay.
I took the jeans off, put them over my Converse runners. I looked so ridiculous. So now I've picked thank God they had a mushroom. They had a mushroom schnitzel with spätzle. It was like plant-based. Thank God for me.
I was going to say,
and
I
had zucchini blossom thing. And then there was a little Mediterranean salad. So it was easy for me to eat there. I could pick one thing off of there. Take a gander. 3 of us. They each had one cocktail. I had an iced tea. The portions were these little teeny things. And we were with these super rich families that were Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Gucci from head to goddamn toe. The 5-year-olds in there eating like caviar and shit like this. But anyway.
Okay. It must have been at least $250 a US ahead, was it?
Pretty much almost.
Okay.
Canadian, it was almost $800.
Yeah. Yep.
800 Canadian dollars. And I said I was getting lunch. So how can I back out of it now? Lunch is on me, guys. But
you're just sitting there in some random ass skirt.
They tried to make it up to me the whole weekend. They bought me a Star Wars journal. They brought me a Snow White journal. Chris got me a Mickey Mouse beer mug with my name etched on it with 2 N's because he says, I know it's really hard to get stuff with your actual name spelled right.
I wish
so
it
I
was
felt
2
like I was
M's,
12.
but fine.
And then they bought, for the next 2 days, those 2 bought me every meal, everything that I had. Everyone felt so bad.
He's not here right now, so I can't ask him, but I have questions for Brett. Primarily being, why the hell does he have a membership to this weird underground overpriced club?
They go 3 or 4 times a year. He loves Disneyland. His family loves Disneyland.
Okay,
so they get 50 free passes a year, part of your membership.
Okay.
But I think it's like $35K up front and then $20,000 a year after that.
So for what? To go to Disneyland?
But when you go to Disneyland, you get a tour guide. You never wait in line. Like this club is you don't wait in lines. We saw people all day just being with a guide, and they go through a different line and they get on the rides, and you can just go on as many times as you want.
I feel like we're devaluing our
some
Patreon.
People
wait a minute. So like he's just
Reba McEntire's son. She rented Disneyland. It was after midnight because obviously you can't rent Disneyland when there's. I would say there was 400,000 people at those parks that day that we went. It's unbelievable. And it's $200 a head. And then they spend another $250 while they're in the park. Easy. For a family of 4 to go to Disneyland, to fly down, stay in hotel rooms, that is a $10,000 3 days. Easy. And that's on the cheap side.
That's so dumb. Sorry. It's so stupid.
Have you guys started talking about Disneyland with Will at all?
No, hell no. I'm not going down that road yet. He'll one day. I figure I want to go into it when he can like remember stuff.
Yeah.
And even then, it'll be weighed against the cost of going somewhere that is like of greater cultural value, I feel. Because
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
No, I want you to finish your statement because I'm going to.
Well,
because the chances of you going are.
Chances of me going are pretty good because like he's going to fall in love with Disney and want to go. And like, we're not going to say no. So we'll probably we'll make the pilgrimage fine. But I mean, and I did like going when I was a kid. So I will say that. So I don't know, but I just wonder how much it's definitely jammed people in prices. I mean, it was expensive for my parents when we went, but like that was the 90s. So now I wonder what it costs.
We went in the 70s. My dad took us in the 70s.
I've never
And I bet you they paid for that trip for a year. Having said all that.
Yeah.
It's one of the best days I've had in 5 years.
That's great.
I have never seen more joyful kids, families. Everybody's friendly. Everybody's kind. The staff, the training that they do, the experience that you have. Yeah, it's really really expensive. A Diet Coke is $8.50. You can't
What
get
the
around
fresh
it.
hell
US.
is going on? Sorry, I just
Um,
I can't.
and the guy at one of the vendors at the park, I bought a slushy. It was a cherry kiwi slush, just like a 7-Eleven. It was in like a Slurpee. It was $11. No, $10. I'm lying now. And I just like, this
Close
is
enough.
flavoring and ice. And he said by the end of the season, he said it'll probably be $11 or $12.
Yeah, exactly.
He said I see the prices go up all the time.
I just feel
But
it'll
we laughed
every
our asses off.
everything is like a cost benefit analysis. So, if your kids are dying to go and they're going to get such a thrill out of it and you can swing it, you save or however you do it, then I think probably it's fine. But I went as a kid and I went back as an adult for 2 days. And we were supposed to go for 3 days, but we bailed on the third day because I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good here.
Okay, I get that. I couldn't have done a second day. We
Yeah.
went for 12 hours. By the time we got into the park, we went in, it was like 11:30, and we wandered back to that tram at 12:10 a.m. and we got into the car, but it was fantastic. We just
So do they have because you were at Disney Land.
we went to both. We went Disneyland and we went California Adventure. Those two parks are side by each.
Because I went to the one in Orlando. I went to Disney World. Yeah. So that was
and all that stuff down there.
Yes, exactly. I stayed at the Polynesian Resort. It was great.
If you are a Star Wars fan, this will blow your mind. I felt like I was 10 years old. We went to it was newly built. It was built during COVID. I think they were finishing it up. This ride was so fantastical. I felt like I'm in the goddamn show. It was one of the most unique. I don't want to give any spoiler alerts, but there's like 3 stages to this ride. You think you're in the line, you think you're getting onto the ride, you think, oh, this must be it. No, this isn't it. Now you've been kidnapped by the dark force. Now we're taking you to another planet where you get out. I couldn't get my head around it. Chris is like, the look on your face, like if you're a Star Wars fan, it's
all those times your dad said no to the roadside attractions, you've been paid back in full.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even know what to say. Disneyland is a different Disneyland now. It's very high tech. Anyway, go to Disneyland, save your money. Your kids will love it. I Will is going to shit a gold one, as we say here in reality. But in other news, I had a great weekend. I feel so grateful. I was glad I wasn't paying for a hotel room. Moving on. As we were walking through Disneyland, ding, bong, bong, gong, phones are going crazy. Bing, bong. Biden stepped down. He didn't step down. He's going to finish his presidency, obviously. But he stepped down and he has endorsed Kamala Harris, who is his vice president. So go, Caitlin, go.
I'm so excited.
How do you think it changes the game?
Okay, so it feels as though there has been a whole energizing boost to this race because with the state of the last debate and then the public appearances by Joe Biden following that debate, I think it became indisputable that he's just, it's time to go. And that's no knock on him as a public figure or the years of public service and things he did well or not well or whatever you think of him. But he's been in the game a long, long time and it's time to go. And so I think that this is very exciting. The other thing I think that's very exciting about it is that this is not what the Republicans saw coming. So they really spent the entire Republican National Convention allying against Joe. They were like, it's all about this, maligning this guy. That's been the name of the game. And so to now have this curveball thrown your way. And I also think it's going to be interesting to see who she runs with. But I wonder if knowing that she would take on the sort of mantle, if Trump would have chosen the same running mate that he did, I'm not sure that he would. And the other piece of it is that she's a prosecutor, right? And that's her background. And she's really up to the task of public speaking. She's really up to the task of calling somebody out on lies and bullshit. That's her foray, her forte. So in the event that this all goes through and she becomes the official candidate and it's all, I am so damn excited to watch someone else on stage with Trump than Joe Biden. I cannot even tell you, because
Yeah.
however you feel about her or however you feel about Trump, maybe you like him, maybe you don't, maybe you like her, maybe you don't, whatever. I just feel like we knew how the public appearances and the rest of the race were going to go if it was still Joe Biden. And I am just like, woo! Like, it's just actually exciting to
Do
see
you
the
feel
change.
hopeful?
Oh, I never do.
I was like, what kind of question is that for Caitlin Green?
No,
But-
I don't. And I don't like, I mean, and I also don't think that if she won, I'm not going to, think she's some savior or like, I don't know. I'm jaded about like 99.9% of politicians anyways. So, but I like a race, and I got to say, I like a fight. I like seeing people with fight in them. I like watching someone get up there who likes fighting and
Yeah.
fight. And that's fun for me. So I'm excited for that.
Do you guys
What do
know
you
the Canadian connection?
Yes, she lived in Montreal for a period of years.
Yeah, and like she's been kind of at the forefront of so many things, like even with breast cancer research. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I was reading about this. So, in a note published on the McGill University website, she was cited as a pioneer who left a mark on the institution, helping to develop a method of assessing cancerous breast tissue that became standard procedure in many places. So, like, sure, we know her politics, but like she's been kind of epic from the beginning. Humble beginnings.
Well, the fact that Joe Biden endorsed her put kind of a stamp of approval on things for sure, because
yeah.
I think it would have been very hard for all of us to sit back and watch a shit show going on of people nominating who is going to lead the party. And it makes sense. People have seen her in a position of power. They've seen her with Joe. They've seen her in news clips. They have a glimpse of her personality. Chris made a good point. He's just like, he said he would never do it, but Pete Buttigieg,
Pete Buttigieg, yeah, yep.
or Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom seems to be the favorite
as running mates. So, but I think she's going to handpick somebody very like unexpected. I think
it's interesting. So then the criticism about how this has all gone down is that they're sort of bypassing the usual way that you would nominate a candidate. That this is sort of
the votes.
a case. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That this is a case of like the insider,
the votes.
The insider Democratic elite, again, hand selecting and overriding, any sort of dissenting voice that perhaps didn't want her. So there is some criticism there, which I don't know is without merit. I mean, if you were
they waited till a certain point.
You have to have somebody people know.
Yeah.
Now, this is a different race now. This is a different game. This isn't a normal, we've got 2 years to parade this candidate in front of people. No, but I'm just saying in the real world, when you have a candidate that's now going to go out there and focus, you see the four people like in the debates that are all vying for the top position in the Democratic Party. You don't have that now because, just like you said, there's only a short period of time. They can't just have 5 randos that it's that senator or this guy from Missouri or that lady. Like, it just isn't going to work that way.
I do remain skeptical about the fact that like they knew Joe wasn't in good shape. This isn't new information. So the fact that they've known this for a long time.
But he deteriorated very quickly, Caitlin. When you see clips from him at this time last year, it's a different game. This is accelerated in the last 4 or 5 months.
For sure. And and he had COVID recently, and so like it's the right thing to do. I do think that there is some fair criticism around how this has all happened. Does it make me any less excited to see her doing this? No, not at all. I'm like, I'll make a drink. I'm gonna have if they have debates, when the first debate against her and Donald Trump, I mean, I'm gonna throw a damn party. Like it's my UFC fight. I'm like, this is like go. Like, I just want to see them get at each other. I'm like, this is the whole. Yeah.
There's nothing he can do to make himself look bad with his supporters. He could call her a bitch and a cunt on a debate platform, and people would go, yeah. Like,
we should place bets on how long it's going to take for him to use a slur.
Well, he's already called her a bitch on that golf game where that guy was filming when he was talking about Joe and her, and he's already called her a bitch on the golf course. Like he's a horrible, he's a horrible person.
The history, like the first, female VP, first black, like Oh, I'm so excited about what's about to unravel. I think it's going to be amazing.
Well, it's going to be super interesting, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's we are living in unprecedented times. I hate that word, but it's true. We've
Mhm.
never seen in my lifetime a president drop out of or kind of throw the towel in
Mhm.
with 6 months to go in his presidency,
Mhm.
short of Nixon resigning and waving at the helicopter and doing the peace sign. I mean, we and to have a woman sitting in that second chair who we'll see. I mean, hopefully she will get the nomination from the whole
Mhm.
party.
Mhm.
And then they better pick a running mate sooner than later so that people have a chance to get to know this person, hear
Mhm.
them speak, and see all that stuff. But wow, what a
Speaking of,
time to be alive.
It's crazy.
I'm going to be hanging on for dear life, but I, unlike you, Caitlin, I do feel a sense of hopefulness. I think it's going to be a better battle. I think it's going to be a more interesting because there was a lot of people that weren't going to vote for the Democrats because they couldn't see Joe doing another 4 years in the state that he was in. They very
Mhm.
much worried about his voice on the international, level and all that kind of stuff. But oh my God, you're so right about the debates and stuff like that. I think the attention, the interest level, and for people that
Oh.
are now going, you know what? I will vote for blue because this seems much more hopeful. Here's two young people, a young woman and a really capable man. Like I hope she picks somebody that's just fierce and a gifted orator and someone who's got a great track record. And uh, Pete, I'd love to see Pete, but Chris is like, it'll never happen. America will never have a gay guy ever. It's not going to fucking happen. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I'm
well,
You never, I mean, you truly never know. I would be surprised if they put him on the same ballot as her. It's not to say that I can't see him doing something else, but he like her, he will dismantle somebody verbally pretty fast. So, and I think that is a bit needed because it would be nice if we were living in a land of more decorum in politics, but let's be honest, we're not. And any candidate has to be for the time. And I think that that's the big thing that's needed now is that you need a fighter because this is a fight, and that goes for both sides. So that's the time that
yeah.
we're in, and Joe Biden was not up to the fight. Whether that I don't think that necessarily makes him a bad guy or a bad politician, but I do. You saw him on that stage. I'm like, this guy ain't gonna. He does not have the fight in him because he's not. Well, he wasn't even calling Trump out on all the lies that he had, and that's part of a debate. Like that's the nature of a debate. Someone says something, you refute it. There was no he wasn't refuting it. And then in press afterwards, he was like, well, why weren't the moderators and calling him out on it? And why wasn't the press? And I was like, why weren't you? That's your job. You're supposed to be the energized candidate that picks this other person apart. And so now I'm just excited. I don't know how it will happen. If she's able to pull it off in this period of time, who knows? Right? Elections can go any which way, but I really felt in my heart that there was absolutely not a snowball's chance in hell of Joe Biden winning. That was truly how I felt.
well, it's pretty exciting.
It is.
And
It's
if
going
you
to be
do have a
interesting.
party, I'll come. Invite
Okay,
me.
if you're in Toronto, you're coming to my debate
I'll be
party.
there. I'll
Okay, great.
bring my fake tequila from the sober store that I want to really check out.
I'll have Honey's ice cream for you.
Oh wow!
Now we're talking.
Vegan ice
Listen,
cream. Okay.
we're
Kyle likes Honey's ice cream so much, and he's not even a vegan, that on Friday I was going out for dinner and he was staying home and ordering in. And he was like, wait, before you go out for dinner, can you just stay with Will for a second? I'm going to run to the store because I want to go there before they close and I want to get the Honey's ice cream because he was so excited to have Honey's ice cream on his night in.
Honey, you want ice cream? Do you want Honey's ice cream?
It's so good.
Oh, it's pretty damn sweet. I love that. I think when things taste good, they just taste good, and that's as simple as that. You guys look adorable. Your little red ball cap. I think our YouTube is up and running. Our Patreon is there for the taking. Go and Google my name and get yourself a $5 membership. Help us out.
Patreon.com/Jann Arden pod. Same as all the socials.
Sure. Why don't you rub that in? Let me know the actual handle. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got. We're going to have bonus stuff. So once again, this week, you're going to want to stay tuned for where this conversation goes afterwards. I don't know. It could go anywhere, but don't you want to find out? Don't you want to find out? Girls, it was great seeing you. Thank you for making time for me and changing the goddamn schedule. Steve, I think he's going to be excited that he made it on the podcast this week.
We love Steve.
That pool is ready for you and your girls, your THC drinks or your TLC or whatever it is, your CBD drinks. And Caitlin, we will miss you. We will send you lots of footage.
Okay. I really look forward to videos in the group chat of Sarah floating around in your spa.
Well, okay. Well, subscribe to us. Leave us a review.
Next week is the Ask Us Anything.
Next week is Ask Us Anything.
So do ask us anything.
Oh God, I've got questions for you guys. I've got questions.
Well,
for
you have to. If you want guaranteed answers on those questions, you have to put them in the Patreon. We're
God's
guaranteeing that we will answer your question if you're in the Patreon.
Yeah.
The fucking who's running this show? This is what I want to know.
We'll give you a discount, Jen.
Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, great to see you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go and check out the quality bonus material. Toodly-doo.